everybody's doing great. Okay, so I wanted to come here and very quickly talk about, you know how you have in the Abraham Hicks process, it's very something that's a new skill set for me or tool to use. Um, as I started listening to and studying Abraham Hicks and the books and stuff like that in the early 2000s. And I got away from it for no real reason, just got into actually another author, Sanea Roman and Dwayne Packer, and Orrin and Dabim. And then life took its journey, and I found myself back um, studying or listening to Abraham um, videos on YouTube. And the tool set has gotten better. And so one of the main tool sets for it are these step processes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I think that a lot of people are getting caught up in not figuring out what number 3 is. Because I think they know conceptually what number 3 is. And at the same token, get lost in number 3. Okay? So I'm going to give you a quick thing that I figured out that my Ori, my inner being came through and showed me. And I just was listening to the videos, and these things just popped out for me. So she said it numerous times, but she's not saying them necessarily and when I say she, I mean Esther speaking, Abraham speaking through Esther. They're not saying it specifically when they mention this process with the stick, where they say any subject is the opposite end of one stick, absence of it and having it. They generally don't say this together with that within the same recording at all. I've noticed that as of yet. Or they're not putting the emphasis on it, because I think I listened to one this morning where they kind of do. Flat out. Absence of it is when you are trying to figure out how to do it. So when you're asking yourself how to do it, you're on the absence of it stick. And that's primarily because your inner being has that job. You know that's not your job. Having it is why. It's the question that you have to ask yourself over and over again about this subject, whatever it is. Why? 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 That is the only doing part of this process I can think of that allows you to lift your vibration pretty quickly, especially after meditation in the morning. Now, meditation in the morning, I think, sets me pretty good, and then I do my little 108 seconds. It's not 108 seconds, it's 68 seconds. A minute and 8 seconds. And of whatever it is that I'm focusing on. And then when I feel hinkiness around any topic, when I feel weird, a weird vibe, like I just minutes ago felt this really weird vibe, and it's so different than my normal stress vibe. Like my stress vibe is very different. It was so weird feeling that I was like, is that stress? Am I lifting up out of what I normally do? Like what? I couldn't figure it out. So this is what I did, and this is what I recommend to everyone. I picked a topic, a flower, and I just went into why I love this flower. And then before I knew it, I was moving down the impetus or impulse rabbit hole of this flower. And I found out so much about it to even add to my repertoire when I'm doing this later on. And the funny thing about it is, most of the time they tell you to get your mind off the main topic of whatever it is that you're going for, and find something small or little or something that really you really don't care that much about, but it does interest you. They tell you to do that around big topics. This time it wasn't even a big topic. It was a feeling, like legit. I was like, what is that? It was the heaviest, but not quite heavy. It was very different, and it was not my body zoning out from like meditation. I do that a lot. That it was not that my inner being had not descended upon me and decided to start looking through me. It was not that, because that happens to me pretty frequently too. It was a feeling that I knew. I was like, this feels very weird. So I went to my flower. Flowers are something that do it for me. Colorful flowers, the colors of the flowers. Like, case in point, one of the main things that I use to get through a lot of things around a big topic for me last year was purple flowers and white flowers. So you will find, if you follow me on Instagram, it's the same as Bathing in Herbs, and Dylan the Run is a separate Instagram, but it's still there. If you follow me there, you'll see that I tag a lot of my posts with purple flowers, white flowers, because I learned that it just zones me out and I chill. And everything works itself out, and I don't have nothing to do with that. I just stay in step 3, moving somewhat between step 3 and step 4, because the happiness of watching it work itself out between step 3 and step 4 is awesome, right? But I gotta say, I'm not quite at step 5 yet, because when those step 1 moments come to me, I'm still like, dang, like, really? And then I go, okay, wait a minute now. This is normal. This is life. And then it takes me a little time, and I find my nebulous thing that I need to concentrate on, and I pull myself through it. And it's about changing my mindset. It's about changing what I'm thinking on and how I'm thinking on it. But the main thing that I came here to put across today is that the absence of any subject that we tend to drive into the ground and make us feel really bad is when we try to figure out how to do something. The having of that subject, having it in our lives, feeling that vibration no matter what is going on, is when we're asking ourselves, why about the subject? Why? It is legit what pushes and sends you sailing. It just feels effervescent. It can get you to a point of ecstasy, especially depending upon what the topic is. It's exhilarating. It's truthfully awesome. So I'm looking at the time. So at any rate, I wanted to come here and share that. Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. The heat is kicking up. Peace.